Hello everyone. I welcome all of you in this series of lecture on Constitution. In fact, the name itself shows that we are going to study about Constitution. Okay, so the university, not only Savitribai Phule Pune University, rather we can say majority or most of the universities across India. Okay, all of them are starting with their new courses or they are bringing additional subjects to which we call extra credits. Okay, so one of them is introduction to Constitution. This is, we can say, one of the most essential subject for PG students, postgraduate students. Not only those students who are studying political science. In fact, this course is compulsory or mandatory for all those students who are doing, whether it is commerce, science, or we can say management, or we can say social sciences. You take any background and you will find that this subject is made compulsory for all the students. So the reason is very simple, that even though you are studying, you can say social sciences or commerce or science or any management studies, okay, or medical sciences, irrespective of your stream or discipline, university has made this subject compulsory for the reason that whenever we, uh, give education to students, it is expected that students should develop their qualities and students should not, be produced just for the sake of job or employment opportunities in the market. In fact, it is expected that students should learn more and more about their own country and about their own governance. Okay, how the country is running, how, the government is running, what all, we can say, rules and regulations are there, and what exactly do we mean by constitution. Okay, so for all these reasons, the university has made this subject compulsory so that every student can become aware about their own constitution, right? And it is expected that when you are living in a particular country, you should know about your constitution. Okay, you should know about how your country is running, what are the, we can say, rules and regulations. Okay, so for that reason only, university has made this subject compulsory, which we are going to study throughout this series of lecture. Okay, so first of all, today we are going to study about the beginning, or can say the introduction of constitution, that what exactly do we mean by constitution, or why the constitution is important. Okay, in that regard, or regarding that only, we are going to study from this presentation. Okay, so first, let's see what exactly do we mean by constitution. As you can see on the screen, that the basic principle and laws of the nation, when we ask a question that what do we mean by constitution, it simply means that it is a basic principle and laws of the nation, state, or social group that determine the powers and duties of the government and guarantee certain rights to the people in it. Okay, so it's all about, we can say, laws, the laws which we are following, the laws which we are implementing in our country. Those all rules and regulations and laws are mentioned in the set of book, or we can say set of rules, so which we call constitution. So as you can see the second line, it says that set of rules and regulation. Constitution is nothing but set of rules and regulation, wherein every article is mentioned, every rule is mentioned, so that whenever we are, we can say, living in a particular society, so you will come to know that what are the rules and regulations. Okay, so for that reason only we need this constitution, wherein people will come to know about the terms and conditions, rules and regulations. Okay, the powers and duties and rights, everything, all these things are mentioned in the book known as constitution. Okay, so simply we can say that the system of fundamental principles, okay, according to which a nation or a state is governed. I will just shift it so that you will understand this term. Okay. So the system of fundamental principles according to which a nation is governed. Now, what do we mean by that? It is a book which says that how the country should be run. Okay, how the country should run. That is what is more important and which is mentioned in this particular book, which is known as Constitution. Okay, so here we can say that when it comes to running the country, you need certain, we can say, rules and regulation. Otherwise, just imagine that if there is no constitution, so there will be no rules and regulation. And if there is no rules or if there are no regulations, so what will happen? Naturally, anarchy will be there. Okay, such kind of status or we can say such kind of situation will arise wherein there will be no order in society. Okay, no discipline in society. So in order to maintain discipline, in order to, we can say, maintain law and order in society, we need something, and that is constitution. Okay, as per which citizens are supposed to behave, and as per which even those people who are, we can say, in power or in government, they are also supposed to behave in the same manner as it is mentioned in the constitution. So for that reason only we need this constitution. And in fact, if you talk about India's constitution, it is known as lengthiest or longest constitution in the world. Okay, the reason being more number of articles. We all know that the country India is diverse, right? It is diversified and the biggest country, right? In terms of population, we are the second biggest country in the world. And not only that, we are having, you can say, multiple religions in our country. We are having multiple caste, creeds, we can say subcaste, right? We have, we can say, male, female, black, white, all kinds of people we are having, right? Gender and everything, we can say. So we have to cater services to them. We have to facilitate their, we can say, desires or their services. So in order to maintain that level, in order to fulfill their desires, we need to make a particular, we can say, conditions, right? We need to make particular conditions or rules according to which all can behave. Okay, so uniformity is there, of course, but there are few things where uniformity also doesn't work. Therefore, you have to make rules and regulation as per the suitability of every community. Okay, so for that reason only we have, we can say, multiple articles, and each and every article in the constitution is mentioned in detail, okay, in depth. So we can say that there is very, we can say, very less scope for ambiguity. Okay, there is very less scope for ambiguousness. In fact, we can say that Indian constitution is, we can say, well elaborated. Even we can say a layman, okay, or a common man can also read it and understand. You don't need any constitutional expert or a person from law background to understand any particular article. Even we can say a common man can also read the articles and understand what exactly the article is being, we can say, the article is saying throughout that constitution. So it was about the beginning, and now we will see that what exactly was the background and how this constitution was brought to India, or we can say how it was implemented in India. So as you can see on the beginning, that before independence, India consisted of two entities. Okay, one was British government, and secondly, it was princely states. So these were the two entities which were, we can say, ruling over India in pre-independence era. British government was there, and that government was ruling in India. And apart from that, we had certain princely states where kings and queens were ruling. Okay, so kings were there, right? Queens were there, and they were ruling in that particular region. Those regions were known as princely states. So these were the two things. After, we can say, independence, or we can say, in fact, before independence itself, the demand for separate constitution was started, right? M.N. Roy was one of them. M.N. Roy was the person who started demanding from British that India needs, you can say, a separate constitution. And if at all we can, it was almost finalized that the British are going to quit, right? They are going to leave India. So it is not the thing that Britishers are, leaving today and constitution will be made tomorrow overnight. That was not possible. And for that reason only, many people were saying that before British leave India, we should start our journey towards formation or making of the constitution. And for that reason only, many people from even Congress, many people from Congress were also demanding the separate constitution for India. Okay, so after, we can say, advent or implementation of the Indian constitution, right, it formally ended these two distinctions and created the Union of India. Okay, what does it mean? That formally it ended British government also and princely states also, and it created only one government, that is Union of India. So from that time onward, the government of India came into picture. Okay, or we can say the indigenous, or you can say self government came into picture. So all laws of parliament and state legislatures derive their authority from the constitution. One should understand that parliament is able to make laws. Why they are able to make laws? Because constitution is permitting them to do so. Right? Constitution is allowing them to make laws. So we can say not only parliament, even state legislatures, right, where you have Vidhan Sabhas, right? Every state has Vidhan Sabha, or to which we call legislature, or state legislature. Okay, so these legislatures are deriving, or we can say, taking the powers from constitution. Constitution is allowing them to make the laws. Not only, we can say, parliament, even we have, we can say, remaining pillars like executive and judiciary, right? Executive, we have the executive, that is government, or we can say bureaucracy in short. Those who are implementing the laws, they are also deriving their powers from the constitution. And second, thirdly, judiciary, right? We have, we can say, local courts, or to which we call district court. Then we have high court, and afterwards we have Supreme Court. All these courts, right, or in short we call it as judiciary. This judiciary is also deriving or taking powers from constitution itself. They are able to give judgment, or they are able to give verdict, right, or deliver justice. Why? Only because constitution is allowing them to do so. And for that reason only, we can say, even all these three pillars of Indian democracy, that is legislature, executive, and judiciary, all these three pillars are deriving their authority from the constitution. Okay, so that is the most important point, okay, to be considered. Without the constitution, we would not have the administrative machinery which runs India. Okay, just imagine that if there is no constitution, what kind of picture will be created in front of us? Simply we can say that the rules and regulations are not there, and therefore everybody will behave arbitrarily, and ultimately it will lead to anarchy. Okay, we can say there will be no government at all, complete absence of government. And in this complete absence of government, we can say people will not be able to live their life peacefully. And for that reason only, we have created the government, and that government is also created by the constitution itself. Okay, because ultimately we are governing as per the law of this country. Okay, as per the constitution of this country. And the last point is fundamental rights and duties. Okay, without constitution, we will not have the rights also, and we will not have the duties also. Okay, that's the problem. So when we talk about fundamental rights, the constitution itself has given certain rights to every citizen of India. Okay, not only citizen, even we can say foreigners. In some cases, even foreigners also have the rights. But most probably, we are talking about Indian citizens. So all Indian citizens are enjoying certain fundamental rights, and who have we can say who have given these rights. Of course, it is Constitution of India. Along with that, we have certain duties also, to which we call fundamental duties, right? We are going to study about fundamental rights also and fundamental duties also. What exactly do we mean by rights? What exactly do we mean by duties? All these things are going to be studied. Okay, we are going to study each and every point in this series of lecture. So these all things are, we can say, mentioned in the Constitution, whether it is your rights, whether it is your duty, each and every point is mentioned in the Constitution. And for that reason only, we can say the Constitution is highly important for any country to function properly and function smoothly. I hope you understood this beginning part, right? It was just the beginning and introduction of the topic which we are going to study, right? I thank you all for peacefully listening, and we will meet in next lecture. Thank you.